there, good morning. I'm so happy you're still with us here on Colorado and Company. I'm Denise Plant. When our brave veterans come home from their service, it can be difficult for them to express what they're feeling and thinking. The Denver Veterans Writing Workshop started in 2016 and helps veterans put their emotions and thoughts into words. The published work is called Still Coming Home, and we're going to talk about the book and a unique opportunity to hear readings from the anthology. Joining me, Director of Programs and Center for the book, Josephine Jones, and veteran writer Luke Anthony Alfonso Martinez, one of the writers of Still Coming Home. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here. So we're going to hear from Carol here in just a few moments. She's going to read from the book. But first, I want to find out, Josephine, what inspired you to create the anthology Still Coming Home?
Well, war itself, Denise, the more I look at it, I see how deeply it impacts our society. But more directly, the NEH director, William Adams, in 2014, who was a veteran from the Vietnam War, as well as a philosophy scholar, asked the humanities councils to look at the experience of war through the lens of the humanities. Now, the humanities offers great alternatives to violence, like ethics and philosophy, and learning how to have conversations with each other just to understand. So we prepared, we asked veterans, what do you need help with? And they said, coming home. The humanities can help us talk with our communities and share our stories with the communities. So we were able to publish the book, and with the help of the Denver Veterans Writing Workshop.
And Luke, what part of the military were you in?
I was in the Marine Corps.
Well, thank you so much for your service.
You're welcome.
And does writing and preparing for writing, how does that help you personally?
Well, I think for me it allows me to express my creativity, allows me to express my emotions, and I think that's only healthy as a person.
Absolutely, and it really it affects everyone. It makes everyone feel so good, and it's felt by so many different people. Let's actually listen to one.
I began writing my experiences in hopes of helping other veterans and family members of veterans, because it's often difficult to articulate why we are the way that we are, or some of the problems that we have. That's the main reason why I write, is in hopes that it will help somebody or a family member just kind of say, my veteran does the same thing. That provides a little bit of insight. I can cut them some slack.
You can support veterans' stories by coming out to Denver Veterans Writers Club, and we're going to tell you more about that in just a moment. But first, we're going to hear from another veteran writer, Carol Covington, and she did her anthology piece called Unpacking Daddy.
Again?
Take it away, Carol.
Nobody said that you might change. Mama had said for me to be good, and that if I did what she told me and worked hard in school and didn't fight with my sisters, you'd come home. So I believed that you'd return the same way you were on the night before you went away. You had grabbed your duffel bag and the fried bologna sandwiches, which Mommy put in my Jetsons metal lunchbox so that you could take something of mine with you. I put the last scooter pie in there too. I cleaned up my thermos really good so that the picture of George Jetson and his daughter Judy would help protect you somehow. Hey, Dad, where's Vietnam anyways? I asked. Nowhere you want to be, you said. I agreed.
Beautiful. Thank you, Carol. Come on over and sit with us. I have a few follow-up questions for you. Josephine, why are you encouraging people to listen to veteran stories? Why is that so important?
Well, we live in a democracy, and we decide when we go to war and when we don't. And when we understand the veterans' experience, I think it helps us make more informed decisions as a citizen. But also, just to help veterans come home. They've given such great sacrifices to us.
Amen.
But we're also always kind of a little afraid of what should I say. And we've been learning all the wonderful stories and ways that we can welcome them home.
And I love, Carol, that you wrote about children. First off, what part of the military did you serve?
I served in the Army, but my father was in Air Force.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I love that you wrote about children and how it can affect the entire family and parents being in the military.
Yes, I think that, something overlooked in the whole process of healing has been looking at the family and the children and the wives who were left behind. I think that when a soldier goes to war, regardless of the branch of military, he takes the entire family with him.
Yeah, that's so true. And Luke, you have a really cool story if you could share with us.
Well, when I got out of the military, I actually went into the seminary, and I started college, and I actually ended up leaving the seminary, but I started doing some genealogy research, and I acquired almost 400 pages of military pension records on my great-great-grandfather. And so the writing workshop finally gave me a platform to start telling his story. And by his story, I mean part of my own story as a descendant of my ancestor. And my ancestor was Juan de Jesus Jaramillo, and he was a soldier in the Civil War. He fought with the New Mexico Volunteers in the Union Army. And reading these records that I acquired was just incredible. I just never realized I'd learned so much about someone that I have been descended from.
That's amazing. So it helped really you tell your entire family story.
It did,
Very cool.
and everyone has a story,
Yeah.
and this is just the story of me and the story of my family and my ancestors.
And Carol, what was it like for you participating in readings and conversations around Denver?
It's been cathartic.
Yeah.
It's been so healing. I think that the best part of my experience was realizing that I wasn't alone in my experience. I think that when you find someone who is connected to your experience in any shape or form, it's a healing process. It's
Bonding.
been wonderful, wonderful journey.
I understand your mom's watching today.
My mom's watching, Annie Redmond.
Thank you so much for tuning in and watching.
Thank you.
And she's a Spitfire, 85 years old and running on the treadmill. Woo woo!
I showed everybody your video, Mom.
Thank you all for doing
Thank
what you're
you
doing,
so
and thank
much.
you for your service. Absolutely. Support veteran stories by coming out to Denver Veteran Writers Read. It takes place in the Rocky Mountain Regional VA Medical Center Auditorium in Aurora. It's happening tomorrow, 2 p.m. Buying the book, Still Coming Home, available online and ebook at Amazon, or you can reach out to Colorado Humanities at coloradohumanities.org.